21st century farming, by and large, is a mining operation. We're using up non-renewable earth capital in all its various forms at a frightening rate. There are fewer and fewer farms, food companies, packers, processors, abattoirs responsible for a greater and greater percentage of all the food that we're eating. And that acceleration of concentration is getting worse, not better. So it's clear to me that our present food systems are completely unsustainable. And the change that is needed is not going to be a change which should be confined to a niche market or a small movement, which the organic movement has been until now, because unless all our food systems change, we won't be able to deliver what's needed.
I had another project on food waste in the last few years in FAO. We looked at the food cost accounting of food waste. And I can tell you, so for every euro you are spending on one item of food, you have already spent €1 in terms of tax for environmental mitigation, safe water, whatever, and another euro for your health and your well-being that you have been losing because of the negative externalities of agriculture. So it's 3 times as much, and it's an underestimate assumption of how much food costs. We need to be re-indigenized. What does it mean? Indigenous means being connected to the land. Because if you're connected to the land, if you know how your seasons change, how your cloud change, you have a connection with a place. You have a different relationship. You respect the limit of that ecosystem. And I think there is a duty for all of us to come back to the land and have more local system where we understand and nature talks to us and teaches us.
We have 1/3 of all the farmers in Europe older than 65 years, while only 1/4 of farmers is actually younger than 44. So what are we going to do? Who is actually going to produce all this food? One of the things that we can do is actually to improve research. We know that there is a lot of research done. There is a lot of research results. There's also a lot of traditional farming practice, but what is lacking is the interaction between research and farmers.
When we're talking about innovation and where are we going to feed the planet of 9 billion people, we can't decontextualize that and pull it out of the fact that we've already overshot. The fact that there's already too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And if we don't invest in an economic, educational, political, sexual, and land title equity, we will not feed the world. Because they are core to this. Women spend 90% of their income on their families. Men spend 30%. It's a really crucial element there. With the right incentives, the right policies, and the right education, there is one way and only one way to correct our atmospheric excesses, and that's through the soil. And that's through a regenerative organic process.
What are consumption issues? Well, we see that the food industry is promoting this global diet of processed foods. And at the same time, we have this monocropping of commercial crops replacing traditional diets, leading to more hidden hunger. For example, in Southern Africa, the government heavily promotes, already for many years, maize production. So a lot of farmers, they only produce maize, they only sell maize, and they are net food consumers, because they don't grow anything else anymore on their plots. And who's feeding the world? Those are still the peasants, the small-scale farmers. They still feed at least 70% of the world population. So those are still the backbone of our production part of the planet, and many of them women.
But what can organic do something about? I would say it really can show leadership in the fact that there is a viable alternative. There are different ways of producing food. But of course then we also need to acknowledge and recognise that the consumption patterns are at the heart of the problem. Who is driving consumption patterns? It's other hidden interests, not controlled by government, by civil society organisations, by campaigners, but by corporations putting in front of people food that is apparently attractive to them. And I would say in this audience, we have a significant level of agreement. I would say in civil society organisations, we have a significant level of agreement. I would have said with the 20 million people that have visited Expo 2015 this year, we have a significant level of agreement. And that is that we want to have interesting, culturally diverse food. We want to enable women to take their true place in society. We want to control population, but we don't want to depend on McDonald's. We don't want to depend on Monsanto.
We have research driven by unsustainable practice. I give you an example. I'm coming from a fruit production region, and we just had a very big international European conference on cherry production. All the new varieties are all sucking too much water, and it's already happening. In my region, at least, we know that we have less water, and in some areas where there is a huge production of, like in India, of kiwi fruit, there is already the fight between the farmers and the people to get them access to water. Why are we financing this kind of research? And we still are going on this production without limits and without thinking about consequences of what we are doing.